Hi, it's Lynn Ann. And can you enjoy life again when you've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia? I want to tell you, yes, you can. And why do I say that? It's because I have been able to. My name is Lynn Ann Galloway. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia 20 some years ago. And back at that time, I was on, I did work full time. However, I spent a lot of time on the couch when I come home from work. I had three children. I was probably in my early 40s at the time. And, I have parents to look after as well as I had a full-time job. My husband had his own business and we had three children. And life is just busy. There was no stopping and there was all things to do. And I could hardly function from 1 minute to the next. And how I described it, it was that I would wake up in the morning feeling like I'd been run over by a truck. And I'm not that I've ever been run over by a truck, but it was just like everything hurt. And I was so stiff and it was hard to move. And oh my, it just was one getting going in the morning was so difficult. And I would sit at work with hot packs around my neck so that I could function because I had a lot of computer work. And I would do well, when I come home from work, I would just flake out in the couch. Anyhow, I did have some success. Unfortunately, I was depression, and that ended up that I, of course, got depressed because of the chronic pain, or at least that's my feeling about it. Fibromyalgia and depression kind of go together, or often are together. And I ended up having depressed and got put on antidepressants, and unfortunately had a really bad side effect from the really bad side effects. And I ended up in the hospital to get off of them because antidepressants you don't stop cold turkey with. And I during that time I was like, the psychiatrist was like, you have a perfect life. I don't understand why you're depressed. So then we started looking at other things and realized that I was taking over-the-counter pain medications all the time to control my pain and was blocking a lot of it, realized it. And when we got onto that, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now, my daughter was trying to help me, and she got me onto some essential oils. Now, at the time, I didn't really think that they did a lot because I was a nurse background. I am a nurse, and it was like, that's a little woo-woo, and there's no way that that's going to work. Anyhow, it did. I was actually pain-free for 3 days after some treatment that she gave me with the essential oil. So then I did do some work in looking at what that did. Now, I found out that it wasn't just one thing. I had a few things in my lifestyle that I needed to change it. I do call that my 4 M's. So I did some changing. I did exercise. That was one of the things that I wasn't doing much of other than doing work, but I did do my exercise. Started doing walking mostly because I'm not a workout person. Swimming was really good for me. When I could swim, that was the best thing for me. So walking, swimming, and I did so the other one would be a mindset, and I have done a lot of things around the mindset piece, getting rid of old thinking, getting rid of old beliefs in believing that I can make a difference, that I can be different, in that the negative thing was a big one for me, and it's stopping that negativity and looking at things differently in a different perspective. And that was huge for me. So my exercise and my mindset, movement mindset, and my meals, changing some of how I ate, and particularly getting rid of artificial sweeteners and sugar. That was the biggies for me. And coffee. I was drinking huge amounts of caffeine. And so that was big for me to get rid of some of that. And what else did I do? I did, my environment, making some changes in my environment, things like setting some boundaries, because I was a person that was like helping everybody else, but forgetting about me, forgetting about my self-care, the things that I needed to do for me. And that was huge area for me to do. And so there's lots of other things in those areas. And it wasn't something that happened overnight. It was a process. And what was really interesting, after about a year of me doing all these things, I had a friend come into my office that had been working for me previous to that. She had retired, and she come in and she says, "Oh, Lynn, how are you doing? It must have been a terrible, terrible winter for you." And I'm going, "Why would it be a terrible winter?" And she goes, "Oh, well, it was bad. I mean, you always have those big hot packs on your neck and wrapped around your hands." I'm going, "Oh, I don't even remember. Where are they? I haven't had to use them all winter." That's when I realized that all these things that I was doing was making a difference. And when you feel better, you don't remember as much how horrible you felt, how many things. And it was good that she stopped in and reminded me of how horrible I was and how difficult the days were for me. Because once you start to feel better, you start doing more things, you feel better. And it's a bit of a vicious circle, just like not feeling good and being negative is also a negative circle as well. And I've done a lot of things over the time. And I mean, that's obviously it works because I still enjoy my life. I did go back to work. I was working full time. I did have to take a time period off, but I did, I did work full time until I retired when I was 65. And I also during that time helped my husband run a business and had my own business. And yes, so, and I still do some of my own things. As you know, I do have a little bit of a business with doing some essential oils and some other things that have helped people with fibromyalgia. I mean, that's what I would like to do, is helping people feel better, enjoy life so that they can get past the pain and they can get doing, because it is doable. I'm proof of it. So if you want any more tips, let me know. And I do, in below, you'll see the link for the subscription, because one thing I did find out is, yes, I do need to be reminded to do things, because you get off track and start not doing the things that you should be doing. And it's easy. I don't know why it's so easy to do the things that harm you, are not good for you, than it is to do the things that are good for you. So the weekly reminders were awesome for me. And I have, you'll get all my, I've spent lots and lots of time and money in learning how to live my life in a way that would be helpful and makes me enjoy life again and enjoy my family. And I have put those into a weekly subscription. And if you want to check that out, you can do that. And it's just a nominal monthly fee. And each week you get some action plans that can help you, and some tips and things that I've learned over the years that have helped me to enjoy life and be with my family and not have pain. I rarely have pain. Change of weather, I might be a little achy, but then I have those tips for those, like getting into an Epsom salts bath, those kind of things. So, and I have not taken any medication because of, unfortunately, I mean, I know it does work for some people, but for me, it was very, I had really bad side effects from them. So I had to learn to find things that work naturally. So if you want to do that, the subscription link is in the description below here. And thank you. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, do so, because I do post tips on here that will help. Have an awesome day.